We're at the shop working with the 68 Javelin, and we've come across another situation that needs adaptation. Just like we talked about before, you do one thing and it's a progression. There's always 3 other things after that you gotta do so that what you did will work. And after having heads modified, he's using ARP studs. We can't even put the headers on, or the flange is going to hit. You can see where the studs are long enough where they're hitting the flange, and we will not be able to get it flush with the head, even with the gasket on. So we're going to have to do some grinding.
What's going on?
My neck is killing me. All right, you can see where the head stud is hitting, so we have to use this burr and grind it right down to the weld, and if we have to, lay it back at an angle to clearance that head nut. So this is what happens when you mock up a car using a different block and different heads and think they're almost the same. Well, just a small variance any one place can end up running into problems later on when you use the final parts. Whenever you do any of this grinding and you got shit flying all over the place, make sure you blow these out. I've already done it previously, but a whole bunch of little fine metallic pieces were in there, and you might not think anything of it. It's on the exhaust, but when the engine is running, sometimes there's pulses and being pulled back, and you can get metal into a brand new engine. You wouldn't want, this stuff floating around your motor. So make sure you always blow parts off. So now that we've got the headers installed, you can see the location of where the positive cable needs to bolt up. So any other route of the cable coming down or trying to get up to it is going to get burned. It's going to have to come from the back down here and then have keep it close to the starter. And we're thinking about mounting the battery in the trunk, which would be nicer. What's really dangerous that people don't understand is if you've got 650 cold cranking amp battery and you get done with a run, you're at the end of the quarter mile and these pipes are just glowing hot and the insulation burns off the cable. I've heard of guys that just, like a cutting torch, the battery just burned right through the header, and the whole cable is on fire going down the bottom of the car, and the smoke coming off. It's just really dangerous. As far as the driver's side header goes, we already knew what needed to be ground to clearance the head studs that were making contact with the flange of the headers. So that was already clearance. Went up, bolted right on. It was really easy to put them on. And if you take a look at it, you can notice they look pretty cool, but they're hanging really low.